A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up to the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But by this time, the boat, battered by the waves, was far from the land, for the wind was against them. And early in the morning, he came walking toward them on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified, saying, "It is a ghost," and they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them and said, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat, started walking on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he noticed the strong wind, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Well, this is certainly a vivid image that is left in our minds from this passage of the gospel. Jesus doing something extraordinary, and one of his biggest followers saying, "Lord, let me do that too." And so, of course, Jesus invites him to do so because he knows something Peter does not know, and that is that with faith, all things can be accomplished. And so off Peter goes, doing this extraordinary thing when it dawns on him that he's doing this extraordinary thing and frightens him. And so he loses the ability to walk on water. And Jesus nails it right away. You of little faith. For he knows that if Peter's faith was strong enough, that he would have continued to walk on that water and not have been overcome by fear. I wonder for us today, how many times we start off to do something that we know takes a great amount of faith, and we start off confident that we can do it and that we have that amount of faith. But somewhere in the midst of doing it, we find that we don't have enough faith to carry it out. I can imagine when such a thing happens, it must be so disheartening to anyone it would happen to. But in seeing that it happened to Peter, our beloved Peter, one of the foremost apostles, I believe the word is telling us that we needn't to be so hard on ourselves. Certainly we can look at the experience and learn from it, and then move on to continue building our faith stronger and stronger through the word and through the experiences that we have in life. No need to be stuck there in that shame. Amen.